කොයි ටිකද okay, seventh one means Mr. Fawzul, again I had to remove how to understand the target audience, right? Oh, a question එක remove කරන්න ඕනද? Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Then shall I remove that question? Shall I remove that question? Okay. I will remove that. Yeah.
Okay.
Only that question to be removed, right?
Because this is a guy. For me, I'm more into fashion, right?
Yeah. These are under review questions, and also want to give ideas for the next one. Yeah. One is how to this will be telecast in three different you are the host. Is a host. Sorry? Yeah. Hi, Tanya. Good evening. I'm surviving. Surviving. No. Surviving. I means like alive because the thing is same.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you all are safe and sound. I'm Sharda Adapattu, representing Japra Voice, the official media grid of USJ, moderating today. So, when it comes to fashion, fashion is a statement. It is an art of personal expression. It is not an excuse to be pretty, popular, or charismatic. So, hereby, I warmly welcome you all to the first webinar session of Fashion Army, Sri Lanka's first ever ideathon in fashion technology, organized by the Leo Club of University of Sri Javadanapura, together with InnoDarts and EdScale Up. So today's webinar is basically about the fashion industry and branding. Today we have a very special guest who is a pioneer in this field. So let me introduce him further. He is an US certified image consultant and a prominent figure in the fashion industry in Sri Lanka within over 3 decades of experience in men's fashion and the creator of 4 unique brands in Voy London, Le Bon, FH, and Signature. Simultaneously, he is a pioneer in initiating social activities and charities that aim to uplift society. His most notable charity foundation is My Friend, which aims to uplift underprivileged children in schools. Since its inception, the My Friend Foundation is a beacon of hope for over thousands of less fortunate children in Sri Lanka. So we warmly welcome our special guest, Mr. Fazul Hamid, Managing Director of Hamidia and founder member of My Friend Foundation. So before starting today's webinar, there are a few things that the attendees must make note of and comply accordingly. So the attendees, please make sure to mark your valuable attendance in the attendance sheet given through the link in the chat box. And also, please be kind enough to mute your microphones till the end of the session. I think you all will support us. And you all will be given a special opportunity at the end of the session to ask questions and clarify your doubts. So now I shall hand over the session to our guest speaker, Mr. Fawzul Hamid, to share his insight on fashion industry so that he may impart his knowledge along with his insights on the fashion industry as well as branding.
Hi everyone, and thank you for your great introduction. Okay, I will just go through what I did in my life. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a degree in anything. I just went through a different way of life, and I think I'm lucky to survive from when I see my other friends with various qualifications they had, but yet they are in the right direction, but they took more for longer version. I came through a different version. So my journey started with my daddy, with my father, and I joined initially when I left school. I went for 3 interviews, and I couldn't get the job. So my father had a shop in Ballavata. This is a small store, about 400 square feet near the Color Lights. The store was established in 1925 by my granduncle. Then my father took over in 1949. Now, when I joined my father, we had a small tailor shop, and we were selling various things in the shop, including men's tailoring, like gift item, and it's a small multi type of store, but not branded. It's just a very congested store. But then I learned something which in my life I went for a program. I went for a program organized by the JCs, something similar, but it was almost nearly 30 years. And in that program, the presenter spoke about, his name is Mr. Godwin Pereira. He's one of the top marketeer. He spoke about demand, supply, packaging, and production. So, and branding. So I was just thinking, my father had a tailor shop. We were selling ready-made. We were having various things. And I felt, okay, not for me very easy. There were about 5 machines. There were tailors making. So when he said brand, I knew, okay, brand mean what? It's common sense. You have to create a name. When he said packaging, he said you have to create a tag, poly bag, that finishing, all has to come for the brand. Then he said about quality, should be a good product. Then he said marketing. Yes, you need to create a marketing. So these are all basic knowledge for me that time. But because I had a knowledge to create a product, and that helped me where I am today. So in that knowledge, I think I must thank my parents. My father passed away, mother is yet living. They gave me another degree, which you would have seen the slide. This is my, I would say, okay, when you are after school, I know, when you say honesty, integrity, I mean, sometimes we tell lies for fun, right? Fun, jokes, But then my mother and father always talk about the values and ethics. These ethics are very important. Then honesty, integrity. They are karana acting karandum. Oh. So that was, I can remember that. But then in Sri Lanka, when you do business, now I am just a layman. I had just started a business, and I didn't know much about fabric. I'm like you all. I'm like you all. I don't know what silk, what wool is, what linen is, what cotton is, what polyester is. For me, some silky looking like a polyester, a linen looking like a cotton. So it was a wool look like a polyviscose. Various things. People can today with technology you can make it like polyester can be look like a silk. But I was always keen to do the best. That was the biggest strength I got from the parents. So initially I used to buy from various suppliers, vendors, and we sell. But I know 70% of them, they were selling imitation type of fabric, fake stuff. I knew these are not original, these are not good product. So in that journey, my first brand was Le Bon. The Le Bon brand came in during the 80s. James Bond movies were quite famous. I watched all these James Bond movies, and my favorite another actor was Bruce Lee, right? And he's one of there were various Bruce Lee's movies like Enter the Dragon, right? So I just got this name one day in the midnight. I couldn't. That's the first time in life I have not slept till 3 a.m. That's the night I realized, why should I waste my time? This is around, I'm saying it's around 30 years. Keep in mind, 30 years ago, the first time I couldn't sleep in the night. First time in life. Not married, young, and I felt why. Then I felt, okay, I had this crazy to become a designer. And just after leaving school, a friend of mine went to UK and he brought me a document application for me to go and study fashion design in London. But I didn't have money. In the mid 80s, the fashion industry at the universities, I don't think it's not that recognized. Nobody had much knowledge. People are going overseas to study. So I felt, okay, I can't. And there are a lot of designers come to me to make their clothes. That is one thing I learned. There were few designers came to me to make their clothes. So I used to help them, and I found they were lacking knowledge, and they were always keen to make noise about their name, not about the product. So I think, today's generation also like that. They love to get more posts on social media, make a big noise, but I don't see the product is not that great. A little while ago, I was telling my sales team, I want my product must speak. Product must speak. It's pointless. When a customer comes, it must speak. So that was my real journey. So then the Le Bon brand came in, and it was going very well. In 1996, we became the World Cup official clothier. Hamidia became the World Cup official clothier, and we and Coca-Cola were the only company got the rights for Sri Lanka, and so it became a huge brand building exercise, which I to be honest, I didn't know about marketing. I didn't know about brand building, but I have a taste. I have a taste. I like anything good things. I like unique things. I have something. I look for some innovation always. So I played cricket with Arjun Ranatunga. I played cricket with Ranjan Madhugal. I played Premier League. When you play Premier League, you meet these friends. So, and they were my customer. They all were coming to Hamidia's, make their suits, shirts, trousers. And all the tours, we make their clothes. And they were very close friend of mine. So when Sri Lanka beat Pakistan, I give everybody free suit. when Sri Lanka beat India, the best bowler, Ramesh Ratnayaka, he became the man of the match. He get 2 years free clothing. So when Sri Lanka beat New Zealand, all get one suit. It's the first time I'm talking. We in the 1994, 93, 94, we beat certain countries. So I keep on encouraging them because they are my customers. I make their clothes, so I also give them. So for me, it was like a win-win. That time nobody helping them. I felt they deserve because when I see their attire, where they dress and go, I felt I must add value. So the 96, when the World Cup was coming up, I wrote to the cricket board. I said, I want to become the official clothing for the World Cup. Then they called me for a meeting in a boardroom. Mr. Anna Punchiheva, Mr. Sumadipala, all were there. They asked me, why do you want to be part of cricket? I said, I played cricket, Premier League. I helped all the cricketers. At those days, when the cricketers get married in the late 80s, 90s, up to 2000, early 2000, I used to give free. I was the first person to give them free. But I don't get publicity, yeah? I don't get mileage. Now with social media, you all make big noise. But I give because the love of the game. I don't get any publicity. So I said, when all the cricketers, when they get married, I give them the suit, the groom and the best man. Then I help cricketers when they beat first time the New Zealand, I gave everybody a free suit. When they beat the Pakistan, I gave everybody a suit. I mean, they get every time they win something, I give them, and every tour they go, I give them a gift. They make the jacket, shirt, trouser, I give them a tie or socks or whatever. So they knew I had a passion for the sports, and they appointed us as a World Cup official clothier. And it is official, right? And we had to give them a package of not big money. I mean, that time is big money, but it was, I would say, reasonable because that time nobody was there to help. And I made a big noise with the World Cup logo, and I sent to my all suppliers in the world, especially India and in the UK and Australia. They were all looking how this guy become a big brand overnight. World Cup logo, Hamidia logo, and business started booming. If you see my head, I lost my hair because I'm a bit of a workaholic. And stress, I enjoy stress. Even now I have 6:30, 7 I'm at Callum Fashion Week. In between I have an Italian customer. So, but yet I enjoy my work. So what I'm trying to say, whatever you do, you enjoy. Don't think money is everything. Go back, right? Don't think money is everything, and money will come. So my second brand was Signature. Keep in mind, now that is my mass market brand. It's a value for money. You can get married below 9,000 rupees, a suit, everything. Or you can contact me, but not at Hamidia. Is a brand. We have a shop. We have 10 store, and then under the name of Signature, right? Because people are hiring. Why should you hire when the bride looking so beautiful? Am I right? Right. So I want to help the man to look better than the bride. But they were hiring. But now we promote this brand Signature. It's value for money. So I want to create a brand value for money. Lebond was more of a mid upper. A lot of corporate keep buying Lebond, and Lebond is available only at Hamidia's. Signature is available island wide. Then I want to create a world-class brand. Build a world-class brand. Now, it's very easy to say world-class brand. Now, once you build Lebond, mid-upper, Signature, the mass market, it's a value for money. Now I want to go up market, high-end. I made mistakes, but yet I had a plan for this, and I really want to go this brand to European market. So I got Tony Greig, the famous cricketer, right, in 1998. or 99. So he was my first brand ambassador. I had to pay in dollars, and he really uplift the brand into next level. So now this is my Envoy store. This is the store which I have been dreaming in my life. I saw something like this in Italy, Milan, and in Paris. So one day in 2009, 2000, 2009, 2010, we opened this. You all must come and see. It's very unique, very Italian, right? And if you want to look powerful, you must wear Envoy. I mean, for me, I mean, that is what I believe. If you have money, if not, you look for your budget, you buy. So I say buy Signature as a starter. When once you become a manager, go into Lemon, then go into Envoy. So if you look at the store, it shows luxury. It shows very high end. If you go in, it's like a very unique. This is my biggest dream in life. Now, when I said Envoy London, everybody asked me why you say London. I registered the brand 15 years ago in England with the logo. Initially, it got rejected. I had used a lawyer and get it again, spent a couple of £1,000 and got it right. So this store in Kensington High Street, London, and it's one of the biggest dream which anybody can dream, to open a store in London in your own brand. And the person who opened, he understood what you are making, what you are doing. It's a franchise store, but he also in the trade, similar trade like us. So he came down to Sri Lanka about 3 times, and he understood what you are doing. So I mean, right now London is locked down, and last 1 year things are bad. So it's not an easy thing. I mean, when you want to go in the next level, I know you all are all students thinking big dreams. All can dream, but for every dream there is a step you have to go. So for me, what I would do is this is a London store inside. For me, I would say, while doing your degree, whatever you want to, you go and work somebody. If you want to get in fashion industry, works in the fashion industry. If you want to get into marketing, go into marketing. If you want to get into advertising, you can do part-time jobs. Don't look for money, go for part-time jobs. Take whatever you want. I see many university boys. I'll show a slide, but after meeting them, after doing some session, I created a new slide for them. Later I'll show you. So I started with my father, small, learned tailoring, made the Lebon brand targeting the corporate sector, then went to mass market brand, brought in Signature, then made a high-end luxury brand. It says creating luxury. It's, for me, it's affordable luxury, because we cannot go and fight against Louis Vuitton or Xenia or Canali. These are big brands. So, but my brand is, I would say, if you understand, it's more like a Hugo Boss. Yes, Hugo Boss is a big brand. Now, if you know about mobile phone, you all know mobile phone, right? Now, how do you evaluate a suit? How do you evaluate a shirt? You're buying by label, right? Yes, we all know Louis Vuitton bag is expensive, right? Hugo Boss suits are expensive, but we do make a similar version under the Envoy. So keep learning before. I know a lot of ladies, they know to buy diamond, jewelry, gold, you all know, imitation, right? But men don't know. Most of men are buying on impulse. So what I do is, I always love to educate men, but then in business, you can't do that every time. right? I mean, we have many branches, but there are a lot of campaign happens, and that's the way it goes. So the other one is the three brands are done segmenting the three market. That is the mass market, right? The people who are buying for 2,000 rupees shirts, it's a mass market. Signatures, a suit, a jacket at 7,500, 6,900. They can buy at not at Hamidia, at Signature. So it's a mass market. Then Lee Bond is more for 12,000 rupees jacket. So these are things I work out with my marketing team, and we see how to position. So Lee Bond is marketed at more corporate managers, So it's a value for I'm saying value for money. It's a good product. And Envoy target at more of a CEO type, or who has inspiration to become a CEO, mainly directors, chairmen. Envoy, we work with all the top end fabric suppliers, accessory suppliers, and it's done at a different level. It's always quality. But even other products are quality, but then we use a bit of a cheaper version. And that's how you build brands. Yes, sometimes certain brands, they are big brands, but then price is high, but there is not much quality. So when you are successful, what do? Right? When successful, you do. Now, why I'm doing this? I help a lot of underprivileged children, especially in education. Now, I know right now there'll be somebody who would have struggled and come to the university, right? Or go through the A level, or go through the O level, whatever. You would have not had a breakfast, you would have had a pair of shoes. We all go through that. So this is a project dedicated to them. I have my friend collection. Then from the company, they give me a small percentage. So I help the underprivileged children. So when you are successful, so everyone here, when you are successful, you have to help the underprivileged, especially in your school. You must go and see wherever school there are be hundreds of school children struggling today in life. So don't forget them. For our country to come up as a developed country, it's all about education. It's all about creating our youth at next level. So that's the reason I agreed to do this program. And the next one, I'm doing a project called Gentleman and a Degree. Now, all of you will have a degree very soon, right? Am I right, Sarada? You will all have degree very soon.
Yeah.
This is for, I say gentlemen, or it can be women, for anybody, right? Now, I saw many with degree can't find job, especially state universities. Why? So keep in mind, there is a why, and there is also but. So think well, work on those guidelines, improve yourself. I'm doing a program probably next month. If you want, you all can enter. And it's all about upgrading. I'm an expert in men's clothing, so I like to do what I know. But even for female, we can do something like that. We can do like that. You can also apply. I feel now, after seeing Sarada, I feel yes, we can work out. I have a separate team for that. For men, I want a man to look real man, a gentleman. Every woman wants that, right? You are dreaming to marry a gentleman, right? So now, right now, I'm in my training room. Can you see behind? Right?
Yeah.
Who is a gentleman? So this is my training room, and so I do certain things. in this particular place at the NY mansion, we teach them etiquettes, do's and don'ts, before and after. We take the picture of a man before, and by evening, we groomed him, cut his hair, look and feel, change his body language, change the clothes, and we showing the power of clothes, different type of clothes. And we run a healthy cafe. We teach them how to eat healthy food. We teach them how to maintain shoes, how to create a wardrobe, how to wear the formal clothes, and to power dressing to casual, smart casual, sports wear to evening wear to office wear to. So I see a lot of people get confused. So if anyone wants, can get connect with us, we can help you. So apart from that, the any question I can keep answering. But again, I'm saying, don't lose focus on your dream. I know sometimes all think of making money, and for me, I see some are lucky, some are not lucky. As I said, I went for 3 interviews. We had a small store, 6 in a family. My elder brother normally gets the business. Because of unity at home, we are yet a 3rd generation. Our business yet going as a family business. That is because at home we were taught values. Because if I cannot run a business alone, when you want to expand, when you have good partners, trust partners, they will not rob you, and you can just close eyes and you can trust. That's how this is all about. But now you are educated. Now you have the best of the technology, right? You have the best of the softwares. You can monitor from home. But yet, for me, product is important. That is the success of Hamidias. Today, I see a lot of people they're making big social media posts. They are making a big artwork, fantastic look and feel. But when you touch the whatever product, it can be biryani, it can be a pair of ladies' shoes, it can be a men's shoe or men's suit, it can be a lady's dress, but all can do touch up and do nicely, and put a nice pose. Don't get into that. Yes, sometimes you take a photograph, the quality of photo might not be great. You can do a touch up, but not overdo. And they say over promise and under deliver, and always try to give some bonus to customer. If you promise iPhone 9, I'm just saying that you'll understand, you try to give him 11. So if you buy from us, I would say we are very reasonable, and people say we are expensive. We are not expensive at all. When you do ethically business and a sustainable business, things become expensive, right? Everything done ethically. But in Sri Lanka, it's very difficult to do ethical business. There are a lot of red tapes. You will go through red tapes. I went through enough red tapes. Don't give up. So we are there anytime to support you all. And let's build a beautiful country. 2 weeks ago, I was at the Dherana startup program, the final line. I found a lot of talented Sri Lankans from various parts of the country. They have done some unique products. Last month, I was in Kandy startup group. There are about 100 startups. I was the chief guest. So what I see, whatever you do, enjoy yourself. Money is important. Sacrifice your life. Don't try to show off and imitate and show that I am the man for everything. Because for me, I know many people do that, but there you have to balance yourself. You have to be a role model. If you are developing anything, You have to walk the talk. You have to walk as a brand. Don't think that your certificate is important, but once you are done your education, rest of your life, I know many people with so many degrees, sometimes it's very difficult to make them understand. They always go through according to the books and learn something to do out of the box. Take risk. I take a lot of risk, unbelievable risk, but enjoy. I enjoy. I open a barber store. I not made money, but I like to cut men. I want to see men to look perfect. So when I see wrong men, I give him a few haircut, free haircut. I say your hair will grow. Don't worry, not like mine, right? I say 3 weeks will grow. I'll make you see how it's going to look. Believe me, they love it. Okay. I hope I did short one, and we can go for questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hamid. Your success story is very inspirational, and also it's a very beautiful story. So it is not actually just about a business, but it is a lot more about your good heart and how you cope up with the challenges. So moving on, we would like to ask, when it comes to a brand, we basically have a name, logo, and also sometimes a motto. So how does the logo communicate a brand? So that means how significant are the above 3 elements to make a brand? What role do they play in ensuring that the brand's survival in the market?
Yeah. So we'll go by one. See, all my logos, brand names, I picked. So sometime early morning, your idea comes when you're relaxed. So Envoy, Lebon, I told you, signature, and FH. I have my own brand. So the logo is very important. Logo must say about the brand. If you say Nike, that logo is so powerful. If you say Adidas, is so powerful. Now Hamidia logo, it was just a basic, only Hamidia, HAMEEDIA. So 25 years ago, I want to see that somebody now just put Hamidia. I mean, you just say Fawzul Hamid, enough Hamids. I want to add some elements. I myself like black and white always. I'm a black and white, my colors are black and white, blues, like that. So I want people to catch some elements, So I added a line, then I added a check. I found the check will, it will strike. So I add the check, and a lot of people said, now they see the logo. It's visible. Like you see McDonald's, you can see. KFC, you can see. So logo should be something, it must say about your product. It must say there is something very special. Now sometimes there are logos, too many colors. There are logos too advanced. No, I don't like that. My God, even sometimes our creative team, they come with crazy things. So I like very minimalistic, very classic, very simple thing where now everybody cannot read much English, right? So it should be in 30 seconds, they should be able to read the logo. So I created logos, Hamidia as simple one, and added that Hamidia and brought that checks and brought that real men wear real clothes. That was really, but that tag real men wear real clothes was given by an agency called JWT, and that was about 20 years ago. Then before that, we were going a gentleman clothing, but the design I did it, the check part. Then the envoy 2, I wanted that British look. I want to create that British look. So we had to, they rejected initially. Then with the lawyers, we got that. The signature, very, it's another name I created, signature. The signature, it's like signature. Lee Bond is again Bruce Lee and Lee Bond. So nothing, they are simple. So brand has to add some signal about the brand. And I think you can always brainstorm and get your best out, but don't make it too much complicated. Yes. What's the other question?
Okay, thank you. So I would like to remind the attendees that please make sure to mark your attendance in the attendance sheet given through the link in the chat box. So let's move on to the session. When it comes to a brand, Hamedia, many individuals tell that Hamedia is a very luxurious brand. So how can a brand define its luxury?
My God, very, very important question, because a lot of people get scared. They go to certain places. They are much expensive than us, and they think we are expensive. We are not expensive, because we position the brand well, and I think it's very unique way. I thought that I will never allow my brand to get damaged. I tell my other directors, please, you walk as a brand. You don't, sometimes we use the brand logo to various people. I don't allow the brand to be used by various people, because I protect the brand like my own child. So now I had always want to make quality. Now, when you make quality stuff, see, it lasts longer. And we were always practicing lot of good values. And a lot of people thought we are high profile. And I became a designer, and people yet look at us as a luxury brand. We are not. We are, good brand, but we are, as I said, affordable luxury brand. If you go around 4 or 5 another men's store or anywhere and see what we do, see, when you do quality stuff, right? And when you position logo very well. Now look at Cinnamon Grand or Cinnamon or John Keel's group, where they position. We all know that, right? But then we go inside, you can learn many things, right? So it's all about how you position your company, how you position yourself, how you position your brand. Brand has to be positioned properly. I always tell my other directors, please don't misuse the brand by giving to various people. So I protect that, and I decide what to do most of the time. But now, of course, we have a CEO, we have a big team. So that's how the brand became luxury. I didn't know anything else, to be honest. People now come and do various consultations. They come and tell me, do this, do that. But then some people, yes, fine. But then for me, these are common sense. Okay. Just because you go in a Mercedes Benz, people think, oh, I'm a top guy. No, for me, that's the last thing I will do. So I do an exercise on my own. So that's what I am for. So each one must create your own identity. Don't try to copy somebody and create say, oh, I bought the latest vehicle, I have the Rolex. What people think, by just buying dressing like that, you become a big man. No. You must be a gentleman. You must have unique qualities, right? You should be a person who can value other people. So there are a lot of things come. So when you're a brand, you have to follow those ethics, right? When you follow all those values, definitely people will talk about you. People talk about you. Hey, this guy is fantastic. So automatically it become high brand. Why do people talk about Oxford University and Cambridge? Why don't they talk about one of our universities? Why? If you pass Kabbalah University, you see the student how they're coming. I'm sorry to say that. So you have to carry yourself. So university has to set example, right? How the lecturers, I mean, everybody has to raise their bar. So for me, I'm just saying what I thought, nothing personal. So each one must behave yourself. That's the way the brand is carried forward. Okay, that is what I did. But if you ask another top marketing consultant, he will tell his ways. For me, it took my own ways. I did it. In one word, brand positioning.
So, Mr. Hamid, according to you, it's all about uniqueness and common sense and the experience you go through. So, I would like to ask one other question before winding up. How is your brand addresses to the international brands? Like when it comes to Sri Lanka and when it comes to the fashion industry, there's a lot of competition that's in our sector because Sri Lanka accepts many of these international brands and also. At such instances, how do you cope up with that?
Good question. Excellent question. See, we are ready to go for international. And we had a lot of bad times in the international. We learned. And like our cricket team, we also lost a lot of matches in certain countries. And but these are learning. So you learn your mistake and you bounce back. So we are bouncing back. The Envoy London brand, we will go luxury, affordable, and we work with a lot of Italian, Japanese, the high-end suppliers. And when I mention those names itself, that people will trust us. People know, when I was talking to my UK partner, when I said I work with so and so. I mean, for us to, like when you work in Italian, they don't just take you. They check your profile. They go through, not like going to PETA and buying or going to Maragam and buying. These Italian companies like Mercedes, Ferrari type of companies. So they check your profile, your background, your knowledge, your sales. I mean, you have to go through various things. Then only they take you in. So we went through this exercise. So, but then around the world, many brand collapsed last 1 year. We survived most difficult time. I got in the 1980s when the bomb blast was going almost every other day. And we opened stores during that time when there's not much competition, but now competition. So now it's the most difficult time. So we will survive. First you survive. But for international, we have to think out of the box, number one. Number two, you have to give good quality. Number three, you have to give value for money. Now people look for value for money. Number four, innovation, development. Give them something unique. So keep coming to Hamidias, support us, and learn from us. We'll teach you how to buy clothes. We are also launching a women line, corporate line. Come and try in Vellavatta. It's really good. Really good in Vellavatta. We just launched last week. It's very small. We don't do big volume. We are doing very small quantities. You can buy a blouse around for 1,600 rupees, 1,700, but good quality. You can wear for 4 years, 3 years, uncommon, all limited edition. So we are coming to women clothing now, little bit. I don't want to be known as women clothing because my mother warned me 25 years ago not to do women fashion show. That's why I got into men's clothing. So that's a different story. So my father doing men's, so I started following father's footsteps. Now my daughter has come in, my brother's daughter has come in. So they are taken over the women clothing part. So it will be very exciting.
So, Mr. Hamid, we are also very excited that we are going to have a will be stay tuned with you. And also, let's move into a reminder. All the attendees may think that what is fashionomy? Okay, fashionomy is an ideathon held on fashion technology. You all have to use your innovative thinking and solve the current issues in the industry. So the ideathon is a pretty simple thing, and you all have to do identify an existing issue in the fashion industry, and then you all have to address the issue and develop an innovative solution as an individual or as a team. So when it comes to a team, you all have to have only 3 members maximum. So at the end, you all have to submit the solution as a proposal. So webinars such as this will be held each week to enhance your knowledge on the fashion industry, to learn about its technologies and identify its current issues. So the registration for Fashionomy is now open for your undergraduates of both state universities and private universities, as for the students of higher education institutions. And this will be open on 10th of April 2021. 10th of April 2021. Okay. So the link for the registration will be shared in the chat box. So make sure to check it out. So now we have come to a pretty end of the session. So now I'll let the audience. So as I mentioned before, this is the opportunity given to the audience for presenting your question. So y'all can either unmute your microphones and ask the question, or put it in the chat box. So the ones who have joined from the Facebook Live, you can leave the question in the comment section too.
Hi, Mr. Hamid. I have a small question. So, like my question is that when it comes to the fashion industry, it's a very competitive industry, and there are many brands and there are many companies. When it comes to men's fashion, women, children, there are several different brands. So, what was one company or one brand do in order to survive in such a competitive industry? I think there may be some strategies or techniques that one can follow in order to survive in such an industry. So is there any advice that you can give us?
Yeah, right now around the world, everyone is cutting corners, especially the finance part, and they're reducing their workforce. In our case, we never reduce anybody, but then we want to keep them, and we came to understanding how we all had to survive. So first thing is, yes, your overheads, you have to cut your overheads down. Definitely the buyers who are coming to various countries, they are not buying the numbers. Like example, Nike was buying like from certain factories 100 containers. Now they are buying 30 containers. So how do you survive? So then so each company had practiced different things. I know certain companies, they even give bonuses, right? Like food business, FMCG, they survive. Pharmacies survive. So in our case, we are taking this as an opportunity now. We found big brands are collapsing. A brand like us who survive can move forward. That is one thing. And we'll also improve our quality and the innovation. We will go and we will do. We are a unique. For us, as I told you, Tony Greig to Kalavitarana, understood. Like Mandela Fando, we can do any size in 24 hours. So we have a lot of solution to fight the market. We have a total look to give for the man. Even we do underwear made to measure, shoes made to measure, shirt made to measure, jackets, you name it, everything. So we are gone like more vertical solution provider for a man. We even make the man to look better. We upgrade men. So we are gone. We a lot of solution I give a man. So I feel it's tough time. You have to give some additional if you want to survive. Right? A time like this, you don't see about money now. You don't see much profit. You have to first survive. Survive. So survival is the key thing. Rest is you must have good product, good service. If you have these two, you can play any part of the world.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hamid.
Sir, how to select the best fashion strategy that suits for our business and our target audience?
Okay.
Is somebody asking a question? We can't hear you.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, sir. How to select the best fashion strategy that suit for our business and our target audience?
Say again. How to
Select the best fashion strategy that suit for our business and our target audience.
Okay. What's your business? What do you want to do?
Something like fashion industry.
Fashion.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, are you really asking or just you want to get an idea?
I need to get an idea, sir. Actually,
How old are you?
I'm 25 years old,
24.
sir.
Huh?
25.
25.
I'm 25, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. And you are just finished your degree.
Yes, sir.
What's your degree?
I did an biological science degree, sir, but I'm really passionate in this field. So,
So
yes,
you
sir.
did science,
Yeah.
and you are talking about fashion. Now, see, this is a problem, right? I mean, I know many people struggle with so many ideas. What's your father doing? Right. So why I'm saying is, okay, you can start anything. Okay, first go and learn with somebody. Right? Learn from somebody because now you are already you are done. Like you are 25 years, and you are a startup. And if you have money, don't throw money now. You go and work under somebody. Okay, and learn the basic. Or you start buying and selling. Right? You can buy small quantities. If you want to get in manufacturing, go and work in a factory. If you want to start selling brands, you have to work with somebody. So because I see you're a bit confused in your life. I mean, fashion is different to when you do, okay, if you do, when you do biology and the fashion, yes, it's a common sense, nothing to worry. But my advice is learn the basics. Learn the basics, then you know exactly you won't fall. Start small, invest little money, and go step by step. And do go into a target audience where there is a market. Now, last week we launched the big and tall, the big size, very big size people, 50 inches. So some of my customers are very big. So I'm making now give them ready made because big people they don't, for them loose clothes they don't want to go tailor made. So I mean it's very easy. Their body is little bit uneven. So these are common sense. Keep reading, do some research. If you want, come and meet me. I'll guide you. Okay, don't worry. Huh? Sometimes I'm like doctor. I keep asking questions because I mean, if I know the background, very easy for me. Thank you.
So there's another question in the chat box I'll read out. How do you strike a balance between developing new trends and ensuring that it does not negatively impact the mental health of the consumer?
Say again. How do you?
Wait a moment. How do you strike a balance between developing new trends and ensuring that it does not negatively impact the mental health of the consumer?
Mental health of the consumer.
Yeah.
You see, in fashion, in the international, there is 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, winter. Then in fashion again, you have the regular clothes. We call it regular style clothes. We call it regular fashion. We call it high fashion. So then there are different segments. So we do more for ethical type of fashion. You know, I mean everything sustainable. So we don't harm by using anything harm the skin or a human. So that way we go in that direction. And okay, if you look at the world fashion, there are crazy type of fashions, but we follow certain guidelines and we follow what is good for our market, what is good for our customers. We already have a base of customers. So I treat my customers, I know my target customers. My customers are more to become a gentleman. They are more CEO type of background customers. They are elegant type of customers. I know their taste, right? So it's very easy for me. So I cater according to their taste. And some people follow us well. They know when we make something, these are more fashionable, wearable. So I see certain time in fashion shows, you cannot wear those. So we make clothes where we also can sell, but sometimes certain clothes we do fashion shows just to make a statement, to create a fashion in that. But then every time is not money. Sometimes you have to do certain innovation to show the public. I hope I
hope that the audience don't have any questions. So before winding up, there's one little question. Now, when it comes to the fashion industry, it's a trending field in this world. Like, you know, so many people are attracting towards this field. So many entrepreneurs are starting. So Mr. Hamid, as an icon in the fashion, so Mr. Hamid, you are an icon in the fashion industry in Sri Lanka. What is the message that you can provide for young entrepreneurs who wish to shape their ideas and seek to prosper in this fashion industry?
Yes. See, first I said, now you have a degree, you are at the university, and you are already have a lot of knowledge. Go and work with someone and learn your basics. Then definitely you are going to get the first hand feel and touch, right? Then you know, because we can talk about in the fabric there are different segments. When you say wool, my God, different type of wool, linen different type, cotton different type. So everything you can't. But I don't think at the university they are not taught you whatever you learn, you have to practically experience. You have to experience practically. So this is where you are going to use it now. So what you do is, my advice is focus on your work. Don't get too much addicted to social media and on your mobile phone. Waste your time. For me, all I dreamed, I achieved what I want. And now the competition is very high. In newcomers, has to put 100 times more than what he did. I also worked hard, but for you all, it's a battle because a lot of new startup, right? Come up with something uniqueness, get some advice, people to advise you, so it'll be very easy, right? And you can do a lot of research now through internet. You can learn many things. But as I said earlier, start small, work under somebody for some time, understand the culture. Because I see a lot of university students, they once they get the degree, they think the degree can do everything. I'm sorry to say that. I met many people with degree. Sometimes they don't understand common sense. That's the reason I started the gentleman and the degree program, because I want to coach them to value other aspect of life and how to upgrade themselves with other knowledge to face the world. Because your degree is one part, and other part is now I travel around Milan, Paris, London, USA. I go on every other week. I keep traveling, so I learn. I meet big buyers, big brands. So now you all don't get that chance initially. I went through this exercise because I was a salesman with my father. I was doing cleaning job, so I know exactly. I can pack, I can fold a shirt. But this university student, they will not fold. They will want to be, as they come in, they will say, I want to be a manager. You don't go as a manager. You go as a trainee. Go and work in every corner. Okay. I have an important person. I had to go somewhere.
Okay, so we have come to the end of the session. As every beginning has an end, this is our end of the today's webinar. So hope you all learned a lot of things regarding the fashion industry and branding. So we offer our heartiest gratitude to our guest speaker, Mr. Fawzul Hamid, Managing Director of Hamidia and founder of My Friend Foundation, for dedicating your valuable time on behalf of us today. So thank you all who participated in today's session. So stay tuned with the Fashion Army for the second webinar. So make sure you grab this opportunity. This is a very valuable opportunity. So register yourself before 10th. So good night. Stay safe.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Sri Lanka, they are for the university students.